All right, it looks like we're live. And for our furry friends check-in, I know it's a little bit different than usual because we're not going to be hanging out with a furry friend today, but rather a feathery friend who has already made their way right onto the camera. Welcome, Taylor. And Taylor, can you please welcome our cute quacking little friend there?
Sure. So this is Daffy. She's the duck we've had the longest. I want to say she's probably 5 years old now. So yeah, she's the one we've had the longest, and she's a khaki duck. That's her breed, khaki.
A khaki duck. What's a khaki duck? What makes a khaki duck?
Her size and her color. So because she's a female, she's pretty plain with the all brown. She has some white on her wings here. But other than that, she's all pretty much just a khaki colored brown.
She's a talkative khaki duck.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. And it's not very camera shy.
No, she's probably the friendliest of the three.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, she likes the attention. She likes being picked up. We had her in the garage with us for a while around May of last year because unfortunately something got in with the ducks. And so she was the only one that was left. So then we got two more, but she was in the garage with us for about a month while the other two were big enough, like while they were growing, to be big enough to go in with her. And we built them a safer enclosure too.
Okay, and so how did you come to owning ducks? Because the donkey does all the protection. What role does the ducks play on the farm?
The ducks were more of just me wanting more animals.
Okay.
We had all of the other ones, and then friends of ours were like, "Oh, we're having ducklings," and it took about a week to convince my parents, and they finally said yes. So then we got 3, and then when we just had Daffy left, I convinced them again that why leave her by herself when we can get 2 more. So yeah. I mean, that just makes sense to me. So that's how we ended up with another 2 ducks after.
Okay, so you've got Caddy, right? Caddy there?
Daffy, like
Daffy.
Looney Tunes.
Oh yes. Okay, and so you're holding a duck. Like yes. That's already like mind-blowing to me. What are the feet like? What does it feel like? Are the feathers hard?
So these are her feet, if she'll stay still. And they're her claws there. And you can see she has like the thumb there too.
Oh, okay.
And then she's very, very, very soft, especially on the back of her neck, which is one of her favorite places to be pet. But overall, she just loves the affection. But yeah, she's very soft, and she's actually super light. Yeah. And one thing, I don't know if she'll let me show you. One thing that I know about ducks is that they have little teeth. I don't know if that's going to focus. Can you see them?
Oh, I think almost there. Oh, yes. Along the sides. I didn't know that ducks had teeth.
Yeah, they're used for eating insects and picking grass and all of that stuff. So yeah, but their bites don't hurt at all. So.
Oh. Oh my
goodness. Yeah, this is Daffy. I'll see if I can catch one of the other 2.
Okay.
Give me 1 second.
Yeah, this is the experience we're all paying for here. Well, no one's paying, but we can pretend.
Okay. So this is Dixie.
Oh wow.
Yeah, she's a totally different color than Daffy. She's actually a different breed of duck. She's a mixture between a Rowan duck, which is like it's hard to explain. It's spelled Rouen, and then she's also part Pekin, which are the big, like super large white ducks that you see.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so this is her. She's really cool. She has really, really neat colors. She doesn't like being held as much as Daffy does.
Yeah.
But yeah, her feathers are brown and white, and her beak is like multicolored. Look at the camera. There we go.
The dip, dive, and dodge and ducks is what we have here.
Yeah. So yeah, this is Dixie. She's the heaviest and the biggest. I mean, she's absolutely massive. We did not expect her to be this big.
Look at the neck.
She's like avoiding the camera at all times.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
But yeah, this is Dixie. She's a year and a bit old because we got her last year. Oh no, she's not even quite a year yet. She'll be a year old in 2 weeks.
Wow. And so how long do ducks live for?
They
switching up.
Quite a few years. I'm gonna see if she'll show you her wing.
Ooh. Look at you just go in there. Wow. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Dixie. Look at that. It almost looks like an eagle. Okay, there we go.
We're gonna come down here because the next duck is Diesel. You can totally hear them ripping around. How do I turn this around? Oh, there we go. So there's the three. Diesel's the one hiding in the corner.
Okay.
So come out. So that's Diesel right there with the white on her chest.
Okay.
And she's okay. Well, anyways, she has a lot of holographic green in her feathers. So when the sun hits her, she almost glows green.
Wow.
So that's a really cool thing about her. Yeah, she doesn't like being picked up as much, but even when Dixie's staying next to her, like you can see the size difference. Mm-hmm. She's absolutely massive.
Mm-hmm. And so, sorry, how long do the ducks live for?
They can live for quite a few years. I think when I was looking it up, I don't know exactly, but I know it's like 15 years.
15. So these are little infants right now.
Yeah, they're just, well, these two especially, they're not even a year yet and they're already massive. Ducks grow very, very quickly. I think it took a month for them to get to the point where they were starting to grow their own, to grow their feathers and get rid of their down, which is just, it's super soft and that's what baby ducks have. But they don't quite have all of the oils to allow them to go into the water when they're that small. So we needed to wait until they were full and bigger to go in with Daffy because we were afraid she would pick on them to show them that she's the leader of the group.
Yeah.
So we ended up having to wait until they were a bit bigger. But yeah, these are them. And I'll give you a quick crib tour.
Oh, yes.
It's not very big because they're not very big, but also in the summertime, we do let them out and let them go swim in the pond. Mm-hmm. But basically, it's floor to ceiling of this really secure metal to make sure that no animals can get in. And then we have a real door with a lock. And then they have their nesting box here, which just has hay inside. And then they can go in there to stay warm when it gets cold. And then their food and water.
Wow. Okay. And so you said that the sides are mesh. Does it get very cold in the winter then?
So in the winter time, what we did was we put up pieces of plastic wrap all around the outside so that the wind couldn't get in for them.
Okay.
And then that's why we also have the box too, is we'll put insulation in there so that they can stay in and stay warm. And then in the wintertime as well, their entire enclosure is covered with a thick layer of hay that's in this box here to keep them off the cold ground.
Oh, okay. And so how did they feel this morning then?
So that's why we put the hay in their box. Was so that they could go in. They cuddle a lot. So they keep each other warm by cuddling. And when they lay down too, they tuck their feet into their feathers to warm them up.
Aww.
To keep their feet warm. Daffy's just by herself.
Yeah, she's like, okay, fine, I'll hang out over here, whatever. So it seemed that they were probably annoyed, but they had each other, and that's all you need is the connection to other people.
Exactly, yeah. They had each
Yeah.
other to stay warm, plus a little bit of hay, so they were just fine.
Oh, very nice. And so you said in the summer they go out swimming in the pond. Do you just kind of let them free, or what happens there?
Yeah, so I don't know. Oh my goodness. If you can see through the mesh where all those rocks are, that's where the little pond is.
Okay.
So it's not that far of a walk. So I usually just open the door and then they walk over there themselves because they know where it is.
Okay. And you don't have any fear of them flying away or going elsewhere?
They actually can't fly.
Okay.
So we're pretty well, we think it's like, well, for one, Dixie's just too big, I think. Like she's too big to carry herself. But I think that Daffy's like breed of duck can't fly because they can lift themselves up for a few seconds, but then they end up going back to the ground.
Okay.
So they've never tried to actually like fly very far.
Okay. So would they waddle away from the home then?
Yeah, they waddle away. Sometimes, like I said, they'll pick themselves up off the air for a couple seconds and then land again. But yeah, they usually just waddle very quickly over to the water because they love to be in the pond. It gives them a chance to clean their feathers, to scavenge for vegetation, frogs, insects, and stuff like that while they're in the pond as well.
Oh, wow. Okay. And so, yeah, so they're not going too far. They know that this is where all the good stuff is. Oh,
Yeah.
oh no.
She just wanted her out of her way.
Ah, I
But
love
yeah,
all
no,
all the tail shaking too.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't go very far at all, especially not without one another. We've had experiences where Diesel, which is this one,
Yep.
she's gotten out before, but she won't leave the perimeter of the enclosure because she doesn't want to leave the other two ducks.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she wants to break free, but she's kind of like, oh, but these are where my friends are. So I'll just
Yeah.
come back home.
Yep. They are definitely following the stay-at-home order. They're not going very far and they're staying within their household.
Very nice. I love how this is always like a COVID teachable moment.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. The alpacas keep their distance and the ducks are staying at home.
Yeah.
And so what type of emotional support do ducks bring you, Tayler, specifically?
Honestly, they are the best cuddlers out of all of the animals, minus Diesel. But Daffy and Dixie especially, they love, like when you pick them up, they just love to cuddle. They lean right into your neck. They just really like almost give you a hug. So it's just nice sometimes if you want a hug, but you don't want a hug from a person. Then I just come in and I pick up the ducks and I just hang out with them because they always give me lots of love.
But we're probably not going to be doing this with the ducks that we see at the park. I don't think they're wanting too many.
No, I don't think so. You definitely, having the ducks from when they're babies is a huge help because then they end up imprinting on you. So when they were tiny, they followed us around absolutely everywhere.
Aw.
So yeah, creating that bond is really special.
Did they live in the home with you? Because I remember you mentioning with Daffy that with the incident she came into your garage.
Yeah, so what we had to do with the babies is we kept them in a big, almost like a big blue plastic bin. And we had it with shavings, water, food, and a heat bag. And then we had them in my mom's office with a heat lamp to keep them warm until they were big enough. And then they went into the garage with Daffy so that they could, little bits at a time. So they became acquainted with one another. And eventually, once they stopped picking on each other, they all moved in together into the garage until this was ready. And then they moved out here.
Aw. Adorable. Yeah. I love it. It's almost like the Golden Girls. You need like one more.
And then yeah, exactly. So you can see they're cuddling in the corner there.
Now, right now, they're just the Powerpuff Girls.
Yep.
Love it. Oh, amazing. Well, Taylor, this has been so awesome. We've met the horses, the alpaca, the alpacas, the donkey, and now the ducks. Do you have any last words for everyone here after all these amazing furry friends that we've been seeing over the past month?
Well, thank you everyone for tuning in. I've loved sharing my animals and talking about them with all of you. I get to spend almost every day with them and get to experience what it's like to have them. So I loved sharing that with all of you. And I hope that I was able to bring some joy to your day during our lives.
Amazing. Yeah, we've gotten lots of amazing comments and feedback from Lucas saying it's just amazing and that they're law-abiding ducks looking out for each other. Nice. So
Yeah, they are for sure.
amazing. Lots of incredible lessons we've learned and lots of virtual puddles. So it's been very nice, Heather. I mean, sorry, Taylor. Oh my gosh.
That's okay. I know you did your live earlier with Heather, so it's all good.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much, Taylor, and thank you for showing us all your furry and feathery friends.
No problem. Say bye.
Bye-bye.